Hi Steve fans and welcome back. In this video I'm going to be talking about masks, or more specifically how to clean a mask so that it hopefully doesn't fog up when you're diving. I touched on this in our recent Q&A session as it was a question that had been asked by a couple of people and we thought a more in-depth tutorial would be useful. For those here for the first time, my name's Mark, I'm the editor-in-chief of the Scuba Diver media brand, and welcome to the Scuba Diver YouTube channel. Remember to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of our future videos. And if you ring that bell, you'll get notification of the latest releases. Don't forget to check out below how you can get a free digital subscription to any of our magazines. That's Scuba Diver UK, Scuba Diver Australia and New Zealand, and Scuba Diver Destinations, which is our US and Canada edition. And if you want to get your hands on a print version, we've got a special subscription deal for our YouTube followers. Now, let's dive into the video. So, the humble mask. Without it, you're not going to see a lot when you go on a dive. However, if it steams up, there is nothing more frustrating than not being able to see anything and having to constantly flood your mask and getting a bit of water in so you can swirl it around and get rid of any of the fogging. But there are some things you can do which should be able to minimise any fogging that's happening. So, here we have the mask. You just got it. Best bet is to give it a thorough clean before you go diving, as we said. So the best bet, get it wet. Now the masks, when they're made, when this silicone skirt is fastened onto the lens and onto the frame and everything, you get a very thin coating of silicone onto the glass. Now on the outside it doesn't matter too much, but it's the inside where it causes a problem, because when you are having a bit of a heat from your body, if you exhale through your nose a little bit, it just causes all this to steam up, and that's where it causes the problem. So what I tend to do is just get a little blob of toothpaste. Now I like the sort that's got beads in or is quite rough and abrasive, because that helps to remove the silicone. So I just put a little blob onto either side. Now if you've got a single lens mask like this, you can get away with one blob for the whole amount and just smear it on either side. If you've got a two lens mask, put a little blob on either side. It's common sense. Now make sure when you put it in, you give it a really good rub in. You can actually feel it when you get a new mask and you get used to it. You can actually feel, as you rub in, you can feel the resistance initially from the silicone, and then it goes smooth as you just rub in onto clean glass. Well, basically you want to coat it right into the sides like this. The advantage of doing this as well is that you get a minty fresh smelling mask when you're done. So a nice added bonus. Right, so there we go. So we've given it a really good rub in like that. Now what I tend to do as well is use your finger on the glass, but I also like to get a toothbrush in to get right into the corners when you're rinsing it off. Two reasons. One, it gets right into the corners for the silicone, but also it gets any last residue of the toothpaste out. Now some toothpaste like this one is a bluey colour, you don't really notice it, but if you've got a black mask and you use white toothpaste, there's nothing worse than having that right around the inside of your frame. So get that into the water, give it all a good scrub. There we go. Now, you can't see anything physically with that, but you can feel it. If you do that, it feels nice and smooth, so you know you've managed to get rid of any of the residue. Now, it's not a one-shot deal. It might be that when you go for a dive, you do find that it's starting to steam up a little bit again, or just in certain places is what often happens. So in that case, do it again, give it another clean, and then you'll be fine. What I tend to do is give it at least 2 or 3 going over with the toothpaste on a brand spanking new mask, purely to play safe is the way I do it. But once you've done that, it should be all nice and clean. We'll keep it all nice and clear through the dive. If you still have an issue where you've got areas of fogging, you can use a lighter. Now this is one of those you either love it or hate it kind of things, really. Some people swear by it, some people say don't do it because you're going to kill your mask. I have done it on occasion with masks where they've been very, very stubborn and just would not stop fogging in certain places, and no matter what toothpaste I use and how much I've rubbed it, I couldn't get rid of that last residue. Now, if you are going to do it, like I said, it's at your own risk, because you're obviously putting a naked flame near a silicone mask, so you could melt your new mask. But if you're careful, I've never had an issue the odd times that I've had to do it. Basically, you just I put the flame up onto the middle of the mask there, and you can actually see it burn around. You can see the silicone actually going, and I just move so close around like this, and then leave a rim around the edge where I don't get too close, and that's where I just give that a really good scrubbing with the toothpaste and the toothbrush, and that will do the trick. But like I said, some people swear not to do it. I have done it on occasion when the toothpaste trick has not worked, but to be fair, you should get away with the toothpaste. One thing I would definitely say is, if you've got one of the masks, this has got a clear lens, but if you've got a mask that has got one of these UV protections, or it's got the reflective layers and stuff like this on it, definitely don't do the lighter trick, because you're just going to take off whatever coating the manufacturers put on the lens. So just bear that in mind. But hopefully that should clean it for you. The next thing you've got then is when you're going to go diving. Now, good old spit has always worked well for me. Just a little bit into the middle of each lens, rubbed it all the way in, quick swill, on, off you go for your dive. However, with the advent of COVID-19 and everything, spitting into your mask and rinsing it into the mask bucket, or even just into the sea close to where other people are going to be getting in, if you're shore diving for instance, is perhaps slightly frowned upon. So I would suggest getting yourself some decent mask fog. There are so many brands out there. Some work better than others. It's a bit of trial and error really. I've seen people swear by one, I've tried it, didn't really like it. Other people swear by another. What's often used on a dive boat is just a very, very mild, watered down squeezy bottle with a little bit of washing up liquid in it. So just a very small amount of washing up liquid in the squeezy bottle, put a little bit into each side, give it a good swill round. I usually sit with it in the mask while I'm waiting to be diving. So whether you're sat on the back of the boat ready to get in on a hard boat, or whether you're sat in a rib, on the way to the dive site, leave it in there, and then just before you get in, get it in, get a bit of water in from over the side, give it a swill round, empty it like that, straight on your face, off for the dive, and then you should not have any fogging problems. Have you got any handy hints for mask cleaning? Any neat tricks to pass on to your fellow divers? Leave your comments below, and if you have a question, fire away, because if we don't know the answer, maybe someone in our community will be able to answer it. Remember, if you've enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. And don't forget, you can grab a free digital magazine subscription in the description below. As always, stay safe. And if you're able to get out and dive, enjoy.